The question is, will we be backing legislation in this upcoming session? The truth is, I'm not sure much big is going to get done in this upcoming session. We're going to review all of the bills, obviously, that are filed this year and support those or provide education and support on those that advance a free market agenda, and obviously oppose ones that don't. Yes, sir. Back there.
All right. You mentioned previously not pushing forth a really heavy agenda for this upcoming session, and you're not the first to have said that has come before the press club. A few weeks ago, Lobby President Stephen WAGS expressed extreme optimism over the prospects for the new legislature as a result of term limits and a potential 60-65% turnover. Do you share that optimism? And if the initiatives are successful in that regard, do you think, how will you, I don't know how to phrase this, if the incumbent governor is reelected, do you see that as being a potential inhibitance, even if there is success in gaining the legislators that are sought to?
Okay, great, thank you. So the question is, there was Stephen WAGS, the lobby president, expressed optimism that a new legislature would bring new opportunities for some agenda items like this, and what impact might that be if Governor Edwards is reelected?
Yeah.
I share Stephen's optimism of the slate of candidates who have come forth to run, and I'll tell you that's from meeting with people on both sides of the aisle. It's certainly not just one ideology. I had coffee just last week with a great guy who's far to the left, certainly of my point of view, and but shares an optimism and a desire to get something done and to address those problems head on. And so I'm very encouraged by the candidates we're meeting and who are reaching out to ask for these solutions and for more information about how to turn the state around. And I think, to the question of who's elected or who's not, the fundamental question is on what issues are the election held. And part of that's why it's so important that we educate and engage citizens from every corner of the state in presenting ideas, again, from all sides of the spectrum. And that's why we'll be engaging very deeply this year in bringing our agenda to people's doorsteps. And we will spend over 6 figures this year in advertising and communicating directly to citizens around the state to bring these ideas forward. And it's important, and I know others are doing the same or more on all ends. And so the question is on what issues are the election held, and I think that will define what the outcomes of the next administration or legislative session will be, regardless of who's elected. And so, my plea to citizens when I talk around the state is ask these questions. Ask candidates where they stand. Are you for a broken status quo that has left us the worst economy in the country? Or are you for a new vision for Louisiana that can bring jobs and opportunity back? And if so, what is that? What do you believe? We have to move our elections and our political conversation and our policy conversation beyond the talking points and traditional issues that we've often debated and into fundamental questions of what is the vision for our state moving forward? How can you do that? And what do you believe? And that's how we'll turn the tide at the end of the day. And so, yes, I'm terribly optimistic about the future. I wouldn't be up here doing this. Thank you for the question.